Hello everyone, here are 10 cultural shocks that people experience when they visit Italy. My name is Karina Zima, I am a local tour guide, and today I'm going to share with you some cultural shocks that have been told to me by people on my tours and also my personal experience. So please stay with us, I'm going to share with you 10 cultural shocks. So let's see the first one. Start with the food. Italy, it's part of the slow food movement, which means they prefer eating food that has been slowly cooked. Also, the farmers let the vegetables grow freely. They don't put too many substances on them, which leads to healthier vegetables and better tasting fruits. Also, the reason why you might be waiting longer in the restaurant for your food is also because of this. Because of the slow food movement, there is no pre-made food in the restaurant or pre-boiled pasta or even frozen food, so everything is made fresh. Also, carbs are easier to digest here. Many people have told me that when they come to Italy, they can eat pizza, pasta, bread, and a lot of carbs without having their stomach being hurting or anything. So the reason for that is because here the flour is fermented naturally, which makes it easier to digest because it breaks down the gluten. So that's why here you can eat bread and pasta and pizza and your stomach doesn't really hurt. Also here in Italy, many of the pizza places, they let their dough rise for 24 hours. That is lenta lievitazione, same as this pasta. Lenta lievitazione means that it dried naturally. So this is going to be easier for your stomach. So whenever you buy pasta, make sure you see this here, lenta lievitazione, and it's going to be better for you. And that is one of the main reasons why food tastes way better in Italy than it tastes back home. Still on the food subject, here in Italy, the portions for food are way smaller than across the pond. With all this being said, the food is much higher in nutrients and is made with much better quality products. But always remember, that is one pizza per person. We don't share the pizza, guys. Public transport is also a big cultural shock for people. Here in Italy, we walk a lot more because more places are easy to reach by foot and it's pretty safe to walk in, and we use less cars and more public transport. Public transport is also very well connected in Italy and pretty fast. You can get to Rome, to Florence, to Naples in pretty much 1 or 2 hours with the fast train, and it won't cost that much for you. So when you're in Italy, use public transport because it's very well connected, and especially the metro is extremely reliable in Rome, although it does close fairly early, especially on the weekdays. It closes at 11, but on the weekends it is open until 1 a.m. So use the metro when you're in Italy, use the bus, you can get a bus pretty much anywhere, and also use the train. Now let's talk about cars. Many people that come to Italy tell me that they've realized that the roads are pretty unsafe and that Italians are quite reckless drivers, which I do agree with. But let me just make this clear. The reckless driving is only in the south of Italy, so from Rome to Naples to Sicily. The north of Italy is not quite like this, and I can say this because I live in Rome, all right? So with all this being said, always make sure that you look both left and right when you cross the street. If you're thinking about renting a car, don't. Especially if it's your first time in Italy. If you're coming in Italy for the first time, I would recommend using public transport. And when you come to Italy for the second time and you kind of got the gist of how things are going on the road, then you can rent a car. And really, I'm being your friend here and I'm letting you know that you should only rent a small car in Italy. The streets are quite narrow, the roads are pretty small, especially on the coast, so a big car is not going to do you very well. Italy is a country with pretty small cars. If you do decide to rent a car, make sure that you do proper research, because in Rome there are many areas that you cannot drive called ZTL zones, so you need a proper permit and a special permit for you to be driving in there. This is the case for many cities around Italy, so make sure you do proper research if you don't want to get a fine when you get back home. So make sure you do proper research before booking your car in Italy. Fashion is a huge thing in Italy. I'm sure you've seen videos of Italians being slightly overdressed on the street or even in the supermarket or anywhere they go, really. And it is true, fashion is a huge thing for Italians. I remember asking one of my colleagues, what should I wear? And she said to me, dress to impress. So this is a rule Italians live by. But whenever you travel to Italy, don't feel like you have to comply to these rules. Always be yourself and dress however you want to. But with this being said, you might feel slightly underdressed if you go in Italy on the street in sweatpants, activewear, yoga pants, or even flip-flops. One of the rules that you should always remember: flip-flops are for the beach and beach only. I'm only saying this because you might be denied access to some restaurants or fancier rooftops, so I don't want you to be disappointed. But always remember, bring nice clothes to Italy. Shops and restaurants are open really late, so do not be surprised if your restaurant is open until 1 a.m. Yes, they might stop serving food at midnight, but you can be in the restaurant freely until 1 a.m. Now, this is not the same rule for supermarkets. Supermarkets do close quite early. Some are open until 9 p.m. or even 10 p.m. if you're lucky. Now, the little corner shops might surprise you, and they might even be open until 2 a.m. So you don't need to buy everything really early. Do not worry. Always check the opening times in Google Maps though. And as for Sundays, this is a whole different story. Italians don't really want to work on Sundays, and who can blame them? Neither do I. So for Sundays, always make sure that you have bought your food until then, or you're gonna have available a corner shop. Now remember that here in Italy, you don't have to leave the restaurant after 2 hours. You can be at the table for as long as you want, and in order to pay, you have to ask for the bill. The waiters will not just bring you the bill. Remember that. The lack of AC in Italy might come as a shock to you, and yes, AC in Italy and in Europe in general is still considered to be a luxury. Even though during the summer months in July and August it gets boiling hot here, having an AC is a huge thing. So before you book your hotel or Airbnb, make sure it has AC, especially if you come in the summer, and also come prepared. Come with a hat, a lot of sunscreen, and really light clothing. Even though it's boiling hot outside, we don't really use that much ice in our drinks. So definitely not for coffee. Coffee in Italy is not served with ice. So if you want extra ice, you might have to ask for it, and many times you might not even get it. Now, if you want ice in your drink, you should go to fancy hotels or eat in fancy restaurants where they have enough freezer space for your ice, but do not expect ice in Italy. And last but definitely not least, learn how to relax whenever you're in Italy. Dolce, far niente, and carpe diem are a huge thing here because people really love doing things slowly. So that's why you're waiting a long time in the restaurant. Everything is going slowly. So learn how to relax. Italians don't live to work, they work to live. So whenever you're here on your holiday, enjoy the moment, sip your coffee, and just have a good time. And remember that in Italy, you can drink alcohol on the street. Who would have thought? So come to Italy and see this beautiful country, beautiful people, and learn about this incredible culture. And here we are, everyone. Here are 10 cultural shocks they are more likely to experience when you visit Italy. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed our video. Please like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and follow us on our Instagram and TikTok account. I'm gonna see you next time. Ciao!